When you walked away from relationships, they called you cold. But tell me this, how do you grow while dragging people who are rooting for your failure? How do you rise with hands pulling you down? How do you evolve surrounded by people who only love the weaker version of you? You weren't cold. You were done letting anyone feed off your energy. You were done letting people live in your life rent-free. You were done apologizing for wanting peace. You weren't being impulsive. You were being strategic. Imagine this, a pilot dumping cargo mid-flight so the plane can rise above a storm. To someone who doesn't know aviation, it looks insane, but to the pilot, it's survival. And you, chosen one, were the pilot the entire time. You dropped weight so you could climb. You dropped pressure so you could breathe. You dropped people so you could finally hear your own thoughts without their noise polluting your clarity. Here's another question they're too embarrassed to ask out loud. How did they know exactly what to let go of? You knew because the universe kept pulling you toward a new version of yourself, and you finally listened. You felt the tension. You sensed the walls closing. You knew that if you didn't let go, you'd be dragged. And you refused to be dragged into a future smaller than your potential. This wasn't chaos. This was elevation. Every sacrifice made you more dangerous because you became someone with no weak points left to target, no reputation to destroy, no approval to chase, no fake relationships to hide behind, no comfort zone to trap you. You built yourself in a way that makes you impossible to shake. And that's why they fear you now, not because you lost everything, but because you walked out of those losses like a weapon carved from pressure. Your controlled burn created something they can't copy, something they can't understand, something they can't defeat. You didn't build walls, you built clarity, you built backbone, you built independence so solid that even the universe had to pause and say, "All right, that one's ready." Your transformation wasn't pretty, it wasn't gentle, it wasn't soft, it was violent, intentional, and earned. And anyone who thought you were falling apart is now stuck watching the truth. You weren't falling. You were freeing yourself. You weren't losing. You were sharpening. You weren't destroying your life. You were destroying your limits. You sacrificed everything they thought mattered and still came out on top, untouchable.